You're looking live at Nellis Hall, where we have a great matchup here tonight as sophomore night festivities are about to get rolling. As we got Coffeyville Red Ravens versus Barton Community College Cougars here tonight. On the call, Logan Manst alongside Zach Mitchell, as we saw a great women's game, and Coffeyville was able to come away with the victory. And now we're hoping for the same here tonight. And as we see Trey Kalina get his picture alongside Jay Herkelman. And then we'll likely see Jordan Taylor, Tedrick Wolf.
It's the sophomore night here, and Coffeyville's been doing this for about as long as I can remember. They kind of want to honor their sophomores. A lot of places do this, but it's a tribute to those who have put a commitment here for 2 years and worked really hard and brought a lot of wins and a lot of memories to this campus. Done a really good job becoming, adjusting to the college life, and have done a really great job.
And hopefully these athletes, after their sophomore year, can continue in their basketball career.
Yeah.
As we'll see Jordan Taylor come out, 6'6", from Galloway, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then we saw Tedrick Wolf, sophomore out of Jacksonville, Arkansas. And Trey Kalina out of Gladstone, Alabama. So
and then it's a small crew. Again, this is a younger Coffeyville Red Raven team, not very many sophomores, a lot of freshmen. At halftime, we should say at halftime of this ball game, we will be honoring the women basketball team, the sophomores of the women basketball team, which will be a much longer process because their team is majority sophomores. But yeah, there's 4 very talented, very proudful, I should say, very, very good symbols of the Coffeyville campus down there on midcourt.
And then we'll see the Coffeyville faithful standing up and cheering. And then the last one was Greg Poulion, a sophomore out of Brooklyn, New York. And this is also a credit out to the parents of these sophomores that put in the dedication to take these guys to practice and keep them with a good, hard-working effort. And if you're watching tonight, we'd like to thank you. And
absolutely, that's right. There's a reason they call them community colleges, because it is a community. You've got fans here who respect these young men and women about as much as you can, that somebody's not flesh and blood, and we try to reach out to those family members from so far away to reach out to you guys, and that's the reason you and I here are on the mic. We want to give back and bring these games to you, because without strong parents and support for these athletes back home, we wouldn't be here. So thank you all for watching, and thank you for those on the court.
And we're about to get set to announce the lineups and hopefully play the game. See Mike Cubbage, Travis Washington, Trey Kalina, Cedric Rowland, and Greg Poulion in the starting lineup for this Red Raven team. And we'll look at where these guys sit in the standings. Coffeyville sits at 4th, 13-11 in conference, 17-11 at all. Barton has a really good year under their 12th year coach, Flitchell. They are 18-6 in conference and 22-6. And as we're entering conference play, what do you look for both these teams to do, Zach, here tonight?
Well, Coffeyville's 1 game back of Cloud in conference play and really overall records. It's the second to last home game, or second to last game, we should say, in conference play for these Red Ravens. It'll be the last official regular season home game. This is sophomore night, but there is a good likelihood that these Ravens will be back on Jay Herkelman Court one more time. There's a good chance they'll be here on March 2nd. That's a Thursday, folks, to play the first round of postseason play. But tonight we honor the final home game of the regular season for these Red Ravens. And for this game. Going up against the number 2 team in the conference. It's going to be a tough bout. Barton's really talented. It's going to be a fun one.
Butler's lineup for tonight: Malik Rhodes, 6'2", sophomore; Jahil Raleigh, freshman; Malik Topton, 6'8", sophomore; Anthony Smith, 6'7", sophomore; and Ezekiel Charles, 6'4", sophomore, here tonight. And they get off to a quick start. A block by Kalina.
Well, he's going to be, you talk about a size advantage at 7 feet tall, and he ain't exactly a beanpole. And basically everybody for Barton stands at 6 foot. They got one guy at Toppin at 6'8", and he weighs a grand total of 190 pounds. So a size advantage for Coffeyville down low on the blocks is definitely a key.
Quick turnover, and Coffeyville will hold a possession. And Barton, a much well-rounded sophomore team.
Yeah. Ooh. Kalina with a block on one end and a hook shot on the other that crawls in, and he's had himself a good start to the game.
Barton's got 6 sophomores, and they will get a offense possession to try and score the first basket. Quick jumper, and that'll do it. That was Ezekiel Charles.
A long 2. You don't see those very much anymore, the mid-range jumper in this game of basketball. Everybody's threes or layups.
Poulion, right-hand jumper, no good.
Oh, but you can see exactly where they went. Back-to-back jump hooks for the Ravens. First one falls, that one doesn't. But they're just going to keep pounding it down on the block until they get stopped.
Almost a turnover. 15 on the shot clock, inside. Ball fake, and no call of foul. That's Malik Topton. And the foul will be on Michael Cubbage. So inbounds under the basket. $15 on the shot clock, inside. Almost a turnover. Corner 3. In and out, and Barton gets an extra opportunity.
And it looks like Coffeyville's in a 2-3 zone here. It's tough to rebound out of a zone, and especially those threes are often long offensive rebounds anyways. So a commitment to the boards is going to be very, very important here for the Red
Ball
Ravens.
moving at a 3. Left long by Ezekiel Charles.
Yep. And Coffeyville taking their time. Nice shake and bake by Washington. Not a lot of three-point threats out there.
Poulion, nice jumper, and it falls for the sophomore out of Brooklyn, New York.
And he's got a really good mid-range game. Again, going back, you don't see that a lot, but he just got a nice post-up game, little mid-range, short corner stuff. He's got to get to go through that rim enough, get that confidence.
Good rebound by Poulion. Finds Cubbage on the outlet.
Oh!
That's a good move. And Poulion gets his 4th point of tonight.
Well, and he's been very active. He barely missed the jump hook. His first shot there, got the offensive tip. Nice move there by Rowland with the spin baseline.
And good job by Poulion being right there for the tip in. And quick foul in Cubbage.
And the crowd around us does not agree with it. As any good crowd should. Kind of just.
Faithful always don't want to see their player commit a foul, and that was actually on Poulion, or Kalina, excuse me. That's his second.
Yeah. So a quick 2 for the 7-footer.
Long cross-court pass.
Ooh.
Good move.
Boy, a lot of high arcing passes, though.
Trying to get around this zone.
Yep. Again, I think every pass in this set has caused the recipient to jump.
10 on the shot clock. Long 3.
Ooh.
Doesn't look good.
No, but another offensive rebound opportunity. Ooh. Secured away by Poulion. A little bit of, I don't know, it was almost like a scrum down there on the block, but a nice way to come through with it for the Ravens.
Off on the layup. on the attack.
Ooh.
Oh, in and out.
Well, that crawled, and that looks like Cubbage is going to pick up, or he's going to draw the foul, on the good job going for the rebound there. But had a couple of layup opportunities, both sides not being able to go down.
Malik Rhodes' layup looked like it was going to go down and scored it out of there.
The rims, again, we talked about it in the girls' game. The rims are kind of mean today. I don't know who insulted them. Maybe somebody should have been nicer to them earlier in the week, but unfriendly so far.
Hopefully pick up like the women's game kind of did.
Hopefully, one can hope. I mean, I'm a fan of good defense as much as the next guy, but I'd rather call a game in the 80s than the 60s.
Good hands by Norman. Gives it off to Rhodes. No layup. Now they going the other way.
And both teams struggling to get in a rhythm here, and both teams in a zone, I might add. We'll see how Barton comes out this time, but Coffeyville played a lot of 2-3 zone last few possessions, and here, yep, looks like it's going to be Barton in a 2-3 zone as well.
Barton has went without a field goal for a couple minutes. And Coffeyville looking for some offense inside to Pouillon. Left it short.
Playing aggressive. 4 shot attempts already. Had Washington in the corner, but went up strong with it. Couldn't quite connect on it, though.
So Barton goes up and high. Rhodes can't get it to go. Stripped by Jaru. Oh, he finds Cubbage. On the attack.
Oh, and then Cubbage with a nice floater to draw the foul there. He'll be at the line. Scrappy play, I would characterize it so far into this ball game.
A lot of hands being active tonight.
Yep.
Most of them fouls and most of them some steals. So it's going each and every way. Yep. And the first free throw of the night made by Mike Cubbage for Coffeyville. So he gets a pair.
And the lead really crawled. I would characterize it as crawling to 6. It's been a struggle to score both teams. Defense has been the name of the game so far.
Good pass.
Oh!
Gets blocked at the rim by Pouillon.
Oh, meet him up top. Who's the bigger man?
Pouillon's playing with a sense of aggressiveness, and he gets it blocked right there.
The triple team. He did a nice job squaring up, though, and going strong. Just sometimes too many hands around. Gets the clean block.
And I think I just made up a word, aggressiveness. Or aggressive.
Yeah, it was. We like to keep. We keep it interesting here on the broadcast. Oh, nice little baby hook from
Pouillon with the rebound.
Block.
Oh, good no-look pass. Cedric
nice.
With the finish.
Washington had that set up, and a quick timeout for Barton. Ravens with a 10-2 lead.
A 10-2 lead makes Coach Fletcher take an early timeout. He'll have 3 remaining left.
He's got to get his guys organized. Again, 2 points in about, just over 6 minutes of game time is inexcusable for any team, especially the number 2 team in conference, Coffeyville, playing like the favorites here, even though I know they're at home and it's sophomore night, but playing really poised.
I saw Pouillon really score the ball well. He's got 4 points. Cedric's got 2, and Mike Cubbage got 2. So,
yep.
And the only point for the Barton Cougars is Ezekiel Charles' 2-point. It was almost a 3, but he took a step in.
That's right. Yeah, it was a long 2, definitely, but
very early in the game, so they have not scored a field goal in a long time.
No, and they haven't had good. I mean, they missed a couple layups, which you'd think that would be good, but they were contested. Right now, it's basically Coach Fletcher just basically going to draw something up against that 2-3 zone Coffeyville's been playing because it has been very effective.
Yes, it has. So Coffeyville will come out with the same lineup, and Barton will add Anthony Smith in there, and I believe Keyshawn Palmer will get his first minutes of the night too. Searching for some offense. Only 2 points tonight. And about 7 minutes into the ball game.
Well, I talked about Barton having to draw some up against a 2-3 zone. Well, guess what? Coffeyville goes man out of the timeout. Good adjustment there by Jay Herkelman.
Inside Rhodes. Nice stop. 2 on the shot clock. Don't realize it. And what a fantastic job by the Red Ravens on defense.
Yeah, they're locked in, aren't they? They came out ready to play.
And you got to think Herkelman's got to have his guys ready on sophomore night against a big opponent like Barton has been all year.
Well, right now you're not looking at so much as seeding, but as a confidence boost going into postseason play. And a win here, no, it's at home, but a win against the number 2 team in the conference would have to be huge. And Polian with another basket. He's had a good start.
Really playing with a sense of urgency, and he wants to make the most of his senior night.
Ooh, and then really an odd drive there by Barton, and the ball's going to go out of bounds. A 10-point lead to Coffeyville. They've played really well these opening 7 minutes.
And they got to keep it up. They want to stay in this ball game.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you got to keep building on what you're doing right. And now they come out in a 2-3 zone.
Anthony Smith out for a 3. That's good.
That was a quick trigger, too.
Jalil Raleigh connects on a 3 to cut it within 7, and that's a much-needed basket for these Cougars. Quick 3 from Washington.
Try to answer. No passes in that possession. Don't know if Herkelman's going to like that.
Inside, he didn't get away with the travel. Anthony Smith. As we see in the crowd, some Cougars there with a sign. So,
yeah, some fans make it all the way out here from Great Bend, Kansas.
It's not a quick drive over here.
No, Washington.
He answers from the 3. He just shot.
Well, and he was able to step into that one. See the difference? First 3 he takes off the dribble, no passes there. Nice swing pass to him, catch it corner pocket. Ooh, and a nice strong finish.
Quick shot from Keyshawn Palmer, able to connect on the layup.
Really elevated before the defense could get in a position to block the shot.
Washington just hit a 3. See what he can do. Finds Cubbage.
Oh, and they missed Rowland on the baseline. Short corner, they had him, and they just couldn't find him.
He's trying to make himself presentable with his hands up. Pullion.
Oh!
He's finding it tonight.
Oh, he's hot. I keep feeding it to him. Get it to him whenever you can.
Make that 8 points.
Basically gives him half. He's outscored Barton all by himself.
Took one too many steps. Malik Rhodes
just
turns it over.
A little too quick. I mean, quickness is underrated in the game of basketball, but you have to put the ball down on the floor first before all that athleticism counts. So, see what, and again, both teams look like both teams are going to play 2-3 zone. You don't really see that very often at the college game, but
yeah, you usually just see man up and see who's best.
And looks like that's going to be basically a forearm. Yeah, the rules on post-up, again, they got away with a lot of contact last couple years in college basketball. Guarding a posting player, you're allowed to establish your own position, but you can't extend that forearm out. He put it into Polian's back and shoved. That's where the foul comes from. You just got to kind of hold your position against, which is tough against a player as big and strong as Greg Polian.
And we'll see the 2 sophomores come to the checking table, Jordan Taylor and Malik. And it almost gets stripped. And Tedrick Wolf, I should say.
Oh.
Inside to Pullion. Double team.
And that's going to be a walk. Kind of a sloppy possession there. They couldn't really get anything going. I think you credit Barton's defense there. Nice job kind of extending that zone out. Doing a good job of kind of flying around, eating up a lot of space.
So Pullion switched his pivot foot, and that'll be an easy travel. And we saw Jahill Raleigh take a 3.
They got to get him open for a lot more. I mean, he's a very capable shooter.
And he'll bring up the ball for the Cougars. Down by 10. quick corner 2 off.
Well, and it's, Barton had some success on the offensive boards really early into the ball game, and here haven't been able to secure as many. Good job by the Ravens of really buckling down on the defensive boards.
10 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they got to attack downhill.
Another long 3 from Washington.
Wasn't a good look. I get a lot of passing around on the perimeter, which is fine, but they got no action downhill, and they didn't really make the defense move.
20 on the shot clock. Working the perimeter. Now inside, back outside. And a quick 3. Oh, Tedrick Wolf.
Woo. Skied for that one, didn't he?
Just getting into the game.
Oh, and off the knee of Washington, they're going to call it. Looked good. That looked right. That looks like the right call from where we stand. Kind of cupped it on his knee and bounced it out. So he's going to be nursing a 10-point lead going into timeout. Ravens looking all right.
Very different starting lineup for Herkelman. And it's working for him thus far. And
yeah,
we're starting to see Malik Keith and Jordan Taylor and Ted and Wolf in the game that are usually starters. So Coffeyville really did a good job with sometimes the reserves in the game, up by 10.
Well, I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know. This has been one of the more unique traits of this very unique Red Raven men's basketball team. I don't know that they've started the same people consecutively 3 or 4 times in a row. They always have a lineup change. So it's been a very strange year that way. But the Red Raven men's basketball team doing a good job, whoever's out there, to be productive. And that's really what Coach Herkelman's looking for. And I think that starts and basically ends today with Greg Polian.
And as we should mention, Barton going with the same starting lineup as they usually do and struggling thus far, but when you're coming off a long bus ride,
that's right,
and you're late into the season, it's got to be tough to come out here with energy and enthusiasm after coming off a win, and a big win at Pratt, 98-86.
Yeah, really securing their place, top the conference. And like you said, it's second place there. They're up 2 games over Dodge City. Barton is. And, crowd calling for a few extra steps, but a nice, strong finish for Barton and gets them down, the lead down to 8.
Keyshawn Palmer pulling his way to the hoop.
And now it looks, boy, they are really extending that zone. It's a 1-2-2 sort of, and a turnover there by Keith.
On the attack.
Yep, and that's not what you want. You don't want those live ball turnovers, especially going against the zone. It allows them to tack so easily on the fast break.
Keyshawn Palmer gets in the game, puts up 4 points quickly, narrowing it to a 6-point lead.
And the way they've adjusted their zone, Barton has, is really thrown Coffeyville's offensive attack off.
Keith inside the Wolf.
Oh, nice.
Good ball fake. Layup good.
And Tedrick Wolf has really morphed into this 6'4", 6'5" super athlete. Oh, when I say super athlete, boy, he almost spiked that one to Mars. But way to stay with it from Barton. But Tedrick Wolf is really playing more of a forward or down low position. So watch him at the high post there. Again, they're trying to get the ball to him right there. His quickness will allow him to get to the rim much quicker than a bigger player per se.
And Malik Topton with the nice athletic move. And Jordan Taylor, yes, from 3.
And he's somebody who, if he gets hot, could go for 30. And he's streaky, but has a good touch when he's on. And another nice rebound for Wolf. So he's got a basket and a couple of rebounds in a couple of minutes here off the bench. So good showing for the sophomore.
He's really a zone killer. He likes to hide in the middle of the zone as he just gets stripped. All the way to the hoop. May have been some contact. Off the top with a dunk.
And Wolf just kind of ducks his head and gets out of the way of a poster. And it's going to be the first time out for Coffeyville.
So not a very good 30-second stretch for this Red Raven team. Yeah, Jordan Taylor at the 3, but defense really wasn't there, and you turned over the ball in that last possession and allowed Barton to catch some momentum. So you take the timeout. Coach Herkelman burns his first timeout.
Well, the key for the Ravens here is you can't let Barton get comfortable or get hot, right? That's the question. At the very beginning of the game, the first 7, 8, 9 minutes, they managed to keep Barton from getting good looks and knocking any decent looks down. The issue is Barton's defense is now fueling their offense, forcing turnovers, getting those rebounds off of bad shots by the Ravens, and it's allowing them to kind of settle in. For the Ravens, it all starts with them taking better care of the ball, making some shots, putting the pressure on Barton to chase them, not the other way around.
22-15, Coffeyville still holds a 7-point lead after the timeout.
Well, now it looks like Barton is in man defense. So again, a lot of some mental chess here between the two coaching staffs, switching up defensive assignments.
Not trying to keep anything the same.
Yep.
5 on the shot clock. Travis Washington's got to notice it.
Oh, and that almost, the bank was almost open on a weekend. Couldn't quite go. Washington now quietly 1 for 4 from 3.
And I don't think that's what Herkelman drew up after the timeout. Not a very good possession.
Probably not. But again, credit Barton's defensive switch to kind of fuel that.
And inside, Malik Thompson is just too much for this Coffeyville Red Raven defense.
He's definitely electric, doing a great job of being active around the rim.
He's got 6 points. Pulling on with his nice shot. Didn't go this time.
Not quite. Wasn't quite the touch on that one. He had a nice arch, nice backspin. Obviously, you can see he just checked in the ball game, a little bit rusty.
So Barton looking to cut the lead. Ball fake inside, gets fouled. You'll see Jahil Raleigh at the line, a 6'3" freshman out of North Carolina.
I don't know, there's not a lot of North Carolinians make the trip to Great Bend, Kansas, but he's definitely worth it for his team. He is a talent.
Definitely, when you're 6'3" and being the point guard of this Barton team, you're going to get some looks. And the way he moves and has athleticism, I can tell you he's probably going to play at the next level.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many. I mean, and a lot of times Division II gets kind of a knock, but there are so many great talents come from this league because there's so many good teams. They go on to the next level of Division II, and they star for championship teams. And Jordan Taylor there with an wide open 3. Couldn't knock it down. Oh, Barton fortunate to get away with a walk, and it doesn't matter. It's still a turnover. Washington on the break.
Trying to make something happen. And they're saying.
And they're really emphatic, all 3 officials wanting to remind everybody that the tip in after the whistle by Wolf was not good. I guess the guys at the scores table need to be reminded.
Most definitely. As Washington at the line, she's 75% free throw shooter. Gets that one to go.
And he avoids the broadcaster jinx, pretty well, and clinked it back in. So
I've been doing it on ice, so it really hasn't gone against anyone except one girl in the first game, I believe.
Sure, yeah, you're right.
But
you need to be trying harder then.
Yeah.
That's a sign of any good broadcaster is people always miss free throws around you. I don't know what it is. I guess the more free throws you cause to be missed, the higher your paycheck. I think that's how it works. I think that's how they get paid.
If I get paid.
That's right. A nice defense there. But, again, the offensive rebounding for Barton coming alive a little bit the last few minutes. Still down 7.
6 minutes to play. Barton looking for some offense. Moving the ball well, but the ball has not been going in for him.
Nope, that might. Ooh, and then an air ball. Barton fortunate, the baseball team not here in attendance. And ball off of Wolf.
And I think that's a product, John Barbie just getting into the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
A quick shot can kind of do that to you, leave it short.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It's sometimes, especially on the road, not used to the depth perception of some of these gyms, even though you warm up for about an hour before the game. Between getting here off the bus and then warming up before the game, sometimes you check in sitting down for about 20 minutes. That especially from 3 is really tough.
Most definitely. Again, Barton with the ball.
content to swing it around. Coffeyville in that zone defense. Oh, and it looked like Polian was straight up, but some contact. He's going to nail him with the foul. And, yeah, Coach Erkelman's wondering about that one. I agree. He looked pretty straight up. Now, a lot of times that contact is lower on those kind of fouls, so he might have been sliding, which would obviously make it a good call.
But Ezekiel Charles, he really used it to advantage, contort his body, and fall down. So,
right, yeah.
In college basketball, that's going to be a foul.
Whoa, look, theatrics. We applaud, right? You know, some of these guys might be theater majors. We don't know. But, yeah, it's one of those things of how successful has Barton been attacking that zone, of especially those top two guards for Coffeyville, getting downhill, getting into that lane, and getting decent shot attempts. There they go 1 for 2 from the line. But they've had some success there.
Ezekiel Charles has got 3, going 1 for 2 to the line, and Coffeyville is going to have to break this press.
Yep. Do it with a couple seconds to spare.
Cedric Rowland inside, right hand, off balance.
And he has missed a couple decent looks early in this game. He is a capable scorer.
Quick 3, and that's good.
Yeah, and now suddenly it's a three-point game, but they're going to get a reach. Looks to be on Barbie. Lawrence product. Some good talent here from Kansas in this ball game.
Tries Washington up top.
Ooh. Nice crossover by Cubbage, draws the foul. So that's 2 quick fouls on Barbie. That'll be his second, I believe. He's going to have to check out of the ball game.
So Coffeyville has to execute on a throw-in.
They got 30 seconds to get a good shot, and I think they need a good shot. They haven't had a good look here lately, this defense. Nice pass to Polian.
Turnaround and try to go into the Barton defender and not able to get it to go.
He's cooled off definitely ever since he came back from the bench.
Inside, off bounce, but falls in the hands of Barbie, and that's no good. Or Norman. Jordan Taylor on the attack, and they'll just slow it up a bit.
Ooh, and you missed Cubbage just for a second. I don't know if the window was open enough. Cubbage with the cut to the high post.
10 on the shot clock, working late. Really working the post.
Oh, and then with 1 second on the shot clock, Rowland earned that foul. That was a pretty good hammer.
Going into 2 people and pump faking and using his body.
A lot of post-ups for Coffeyville this game. Another thing you don't see very often, really at the professional level, but even in the Division I level of college athletics, you don't see a lot of straight post-ups, and you really don't see them against the zone usually, but here at Coffeyville having some success.
Cedric Rowland is 65% free throw shooting. Get the first one to go.
He's a guy I would like to see for his sophomore year be about 73%. He's got a nice soft touch, very capable from that range. He needs to get it up. He needs to get that percentage up, which comes from a lot of just shooting a lot of reps in the summertime.
He added 9 points off the bench against Butler. He's already got
2, I believe. It's all right. With a 5-point lead, Washington, that's a nice rebound. This half has gone by surprisingly fast. We've got 3 minutes to go.
Good move. Jordan Taylor, yes.
It helps being about 6'7" with long arms and a good athlete, doesn't it?
Most definitely. And jump out of the gym.
Yep. And a nice take there. Good job against, again, that zone. You can attack the zone off the dribble if you do it the right way.
Inside. Malik Compton.
He's had a good first half. About 6'8", but he is rail thin, but nice long arms, true about 6'8", looks almost like he's pushing 6'9".
He probably can't jump out of the gym like Jordan Taylor, but he sure can get to the basket and finish.
Yep. Oh, nice jump pass.
Julian can't finish.
Through some contact.
Rowland has to get on the floor.
And Polion missing his last 3 attempts from the field after starting off really hot, but I like the aggressiveness, though.
So there'll be inbounds play under the basket. Coffeyville really hasn't got a good look outside of the baseline to hit a 3.
Rolling with a nice baby hook, but he got away with a shove off there.
I was about to mention that. Yes, he did.
And if he does that routinely, he's going to get called for the. Usually, the first time you try something like that, they don't call it. But if you make it a repetition, they will call it several times throughout the game.
Usually, the coach will mention it to the refs, and that won't last long. And Jordan Taylor gives up his body.
Oh, he earned that. Yeah, you talk about guys earning their fouls today, and a nice job by you don't often see guys who could go for 30 giving up their bodies like that. But Taylor, off the bench today, but usually a full-time starter, and doing a very good job. Been active.
Most definitely. And you'd like to see Travis Washington, he's made a 3, but be more assertive into this offense. So is Mike Cubbage, as many minutes as he has.
Yep, and they're going to get it back. Yep. And he was set. People earning the fouls today.
And I'd like to mention that ref on the top, they have the greatest angle, but he was about to call it a block, and then the baseline ref called it the charge.
And that's one of those where multiple people blow their whistles as the play happens, which is good. You don't want to wait too long. And then the official with the best view makes the right call. I like to see when referees as teams, work well together.
Inside.
Oh, nice
good
dump
passes
pass.
at his legs.
Yeah, you don't want to give it to a 6'8" guy at his feet, but it was a good look.
Inside, gets it blocked. Nice hustle from Thompson.
Yeah, Toppin. Yeah, good hands. He's had a really active first half. You can see his potential at any sort of level past this, and especially the reason he's so productive at this level.
Averaging about 10 points per game, giving this Barton team a nice length and scoring.
Oh, nice pass. Oh, and then Taylor.
Inside, rolling.
Wow, he's had bad luck there. A couple of misses that usually fall in for him.
Yeah, but what you'd like to say is Jordan Taylor having a quick triple.
Should have shot the 3.
Quick 2, and that rattles in for Keyshawn Palmer. 30 seconds on the shot clock, or game clock.
Yep, the 3-second difference here, but Coffeyville most likely will hold for nearly the last shot. Barton, if they get a rebound, will have a chance for a heave.
So they'll slow it down and probably wait till past 10 seconds to run something.
Yep, they got to go here pretty quick. 7 on the shot clock.
Ooh, right before the shot clock is Mike Cubbage coming in with a clutch bucket to go into half. Coffeyville Red Ravens up 7 at half. You're watching Red Raven TV.
how to keep it healthy, but of course, never ever bored. Ooh!
We're back at it here at Nels Hall. The score is 32-25. Coffeyville's got the advantage. And I'm sitting right next to Zach Mitchell, and what can we expect for the second half to come?
Well, I think Barton's going to really start fast. I know the second half just started. Coffeyville's got to do a much better job of taking care of making sure when Barton does miss that they go one and out, because Barton they out-rebounded Coffeyville by 6. They had 7 offensive rebounds. That's just not good enough. Now, granted, they make shots like that. Barton's not going to have a lot of offensive rebound opportunities. But Coffeyville needs to do a good job. And there was a lull in that second half. They ended on a decent run, but they need to, when they get going hot, they need to sustain that and extend it a little bit longer.
Zico Charles hit a step-in two-pointer, and he's got 8 points. Yeah, as you mentioned, Barton's got to start hot.
Yep.
They were shooting 37% in the first half.
Well, and I don't know, rebounding-wise, if Trey Kalina, who's checked in, he's going to start the second half for Coffeyville, will have much to do with that. He started off pretty good, and then he picked up 2 very quick fouls, and we did not see him the rest of that first half. So, obviously, Coach Erkelman's going to want him in the game a little bit longer, but he needs to do a good job of staying out of foul trouble.
Kalina really pushing his way in there. He's got a size advantage.
Yeah, both in girth and in length. I mean, he's bigger physically than anybody by about probably 3 or 4 inches and probably about 40 pounds than anybody that Barton has on their roster.
That's a tough matchup for Anthony Smith.
Yes.
To guard the bigger and taller Trey Kalina.
And Barton is not deep. They play about 8, whereas Coffeyville has 10 people. Nice move from Kalina, taking some contact, short arms it. But, you know, if you get one guy in foul trouble, that means fatigue and conditioning are going to be an issue for the rest of that team playing shorthanded as they are. Ooh, nice crossover. And there'll be foul number 3 on Kalina, and he'll probably be coming out.
Anthony Smith tried to take it against the taller Kalina and draws the foul.
And it looks like Jordan Taylor will be checking in for Kalina, sophomore for sophomore. And now that means Coffeyville's going, I don't know if you call it small. They'll still be 6'8", 6'8", 6'7" out there. But you lose about 5 inches of height going from Taylor to Kalina.
Anthony Smith off on the first one. They shot only 4 free throws in the first half, and they're 1 of 5. It's got to do better in that area for Barton.
Absolutely.
Next on the second one.
On here, so Barton opens up with a 4-point kind of run to start this half. And again, I thought that they played a lot in about third gear. And didn't really get going. Coffeyville did a great job of kind of slowing them up, but there was a moment in that first half where Coffeyville could have extended their lead and didn't. And I think that speaks to Barton's skill and tenacity.
Barton's going to get after that long 3 from Travis Washington, made it pass it up. Pullion.
And he's got to hit that shot. You know, he started so hot, but that's a shot you got to make against that defense.
Pullion was stuck under the basket.
Yep, and I think that was a good call. I think his feet were on that line. And, you know, because he was set, he was there ahead of time, he took the contact, but you got to that is a surprisingly large distance underneath that goal that you got to clear. And, I mean, he looks like, what do you think, size 16s, maybe 17s?
Oh, yeah.
So that's a lot of footage to clear.
Malik Rhodes, he might have got away with a carry.
Yeah, possibly. I think just about everybody carries the basketball at some point in time in every possession nowadays, and we'll call it near enough.
And Malik Rhodes, they're seeing if he got the basket.
And he did. I think they're going to give it to him. Yep, they are. So it's now a 2-point game with a chance for a 1.
That's his first points of today's action. Gets this 3-point play to work. So Barton making a little run, cutting it within 1.
Making a big run. I mean, they're on a 6-0 run here, and some contact out up top. Yeah, and that was a good call. Smith being a little too, rambunctious. I don't know if that's the right word. That's his 3rd foul, but you can make contact once on a hedge, but when you continually bump them and grind them out there, they're going to call the foul.
Coffeyville yet to score a bucket in the second half. Have had a number of opportunities just not going their way. Cedric Rowland.
Yeah, they need to get something. They need to get something. They need to start playing offense like they want to, not because they have to. Nice pass.
Yeah, he left wide open for a few seconds, and Washington finally realized it.
Yeah.
And a quick open three. That's way off.
Yeah. We've seen a couple of those this game so far, a couple of wide shots.
Yeah, we saw one from Barbie, and then Charles.
Yeah. I've missed a few that bad. More than a few.
I think we both have.
More than a few. I don't know of anybody really that hasn't missed a few bad ones.
So we'll get a substitution, and Jahil Raleigh picks up his third foul. So out to the head of the bench. And an open three for Jordan Taylor.
Oh.
Connects.
And that's big. That's big for Coffeyville. He come off the bench much earlier than he had in the first half, so he comes in, hits a big basket. He drew a foul to set that up, so you get him going. That's his, I believe that's his 8th point of the game. Getting to about 15-16.
First points of Coffeyville in the second half.
I'm not wrong all the time, just most of the time. Oh, and a nice, good rebound there.
At least you get close.
Sometimes not so close. But I'll take the compliment.
Jordan Taylor left alone. Didn't give him the ball.
Yeah.
Cubbage, nice pass. That's
nice.
good.
And there, Polian, first instinct is to score, settles down, slows up. Nice little hook pass to the cutting Cubbage. Wow, Barton is so fast off the dribble, aren't they?
Ooh, tough off-balance shot from Barbie, or Rhodes. I almost said that.
Ooh, and there's some contact up top. It looks like that's already the 4th team foul on Barton, so we're getting, and we've only played 4 minutes, so we're getting closer and closer to 1-1, and then, of course, double free throws. So a free throw line, it cannot be stated enough, will be one of the most impactful players in this ball game.
Most definitely.
Most ball games.
And the game is speeding up a little bit, so fouls will come.
Yep. You know, somebody we really haven't called much. He's on the bench for Coffeyville right now. Ooh. Oh, what a pass. Ooh, and then nice job by Toppin.
Did not expect that pass at all. And
oh, well, yeah, it was
a nice dish.
Washington playing pretty well. You know, his fellow point guard on the team, Malik Keith, has done nothing. And lackluster defense there by Coffeyville. Some confusion in that zone. And
nothing Jordan Taylor could do to stop Toppin.
Well, he has a block on one end and a dunk on the other. That's pretty nice.
Good move. Inside.
Oh.
Pouillon tips it in.
You know, he started off so hot. Pouillon had, I think, 8 quick points and then missed his last 4. There with the tip in might spark him.
Barbie leaves it short. And
yep. And and now they're going to get the call overturned, I would imagine. Yep, they're going to do that after some complaining by some of the players. They get the rarely seen overturn because enough players.
That was the right call.
I do agree it was the right call, but one of those of like you don't see that very often.
Both these teams average around 80 points, and they're looking like it's going to be the same kind of game.
Ooh. Oh, wow. A walk, no call, and then a reach-in foul.
I think we can all agree I think we can all agree that was a travel.
Yeah, they don't get them every time.
We'll see John Barbie at the line, 46%.
Did you say 46?
46%.
From the free throw line?
I imagine he doesn't. I imagine he doesn't take that many free throws.
That's true. Yeah,
he's coming off the bench.
Size, yeah.
He gets both of them for his 2 points of the day.
Yeah, he might want to take a page out of Canyon Barry's book and go underhand.
Looking inside. Oh. Trying to attack this 2-3 zone.
Yep. Oh, nice dump off by Wolf to Polian.
A nice floater. Polian he has 12. Leading the way with these Ravens. Toppin answers.
He has had himself a game.
He really has. He's got 8 points, 10 points. Forgot to count that dunk.
It wasn't flashy, but it was effective for the 2.
There's no room for this Coffeyville Raven team for threes.
Yeah, well, the issue is, and you mentioned it, the threes. Really, Taylor's streaky, but he's capable. Washington, but he doesn't shoot a jump shot. And the hoop and the harm.
What concentration by Malik's Toppin.
Kind of powered it into the rim. And down through the hoop it goes, and he's got a chance to knock the deficit down to 1. And unfortunately for Coffeyville, that is Greg Polian's 3rd foul.
Definitely a tough break. Polian has to sit for, you think, till the 7 or 8 mark. Toppin misses on the 3-point play. They're moving the pressure out to the perimeter. Allows Malik Keith. Or Tedrick Wolf. That dunk was so massive, I forgot his name.
Well, Barton forgot for a moment to ready a wall of resistance there, and with the answer less emphatic but still as effective, we got ourselves a ball game. Wolf being very active on the cuts. Looking for a repeat performance there. A little hitch in the jump shot. Short arms it.
Forced by Ted.
Yeah.
Good moves. And he'll collect the foul. Man, if we had replay, I'd like to see that replay on Ted Wolf's dunk.
Not for the first time, as Tedrick Wolf relegated our broadcast into a man.
But luckily, we're on YouTube, so if you want to see that dunk again, all you have to do is scroll back and see that one again.
That's a highlight and a half.
So John Barbie finds himself at the line again. Knocked down 2 last time. Gets a pair again. And one thing that we haven't really seen, Malik Keith came in for a short while.
Yeah, I have not seen him here in the second half, barely in the first.
And Herkelman's really stuck with Washington.
Yep. Well, in the floater, again, when you can elevate like Wolf, it allows you to get up over the shot blocker. And he's got a nice soft touch against that zone in that kind of that high post area. Is so effective.
Wasn't as pretty as the dunk, but effective.
Oh, it was. The finesse game is nice.
Inside.
And there's
Rhodes.
Not a lot of resistance either way. Both teams really getting out and scoring. You mentioned both average about 80 a game. We probably won't get there in under 12 minutes, but 70's looking like a good possibility.
Charles Norman picks up his first points of the day. And no Gabe Cubbage to travel. So we find ourselves at a 47-all ball game with 11:45 left in the second half. The second half has really been crazy.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Leaves them all alone.
Uh-oh. And he's going to be hearing an earful from his coaching staff there. He had a layup opportunity. Went for the more emphatic dunk. The crowd being right there. Probably wanted to stick it to him a little bit. And a missed opportunity there for Barton to take the lead.
I think you got to give him some credit. I mean, you got to go for the dunk. It was a tough angle for a layup on that situation, but, man, you got to finish those.
Usually if you can dunk, you can put a layup in. However, that would have been a nice dunk.
It would have been. Norman picks up his first foul, and Ted.
Oh, almost the N1 opportunity. He's going to get a chance for 2. Hey, he's been really good second half.
Oh, yeah. Usually spark off the bench every night, and, you know, in the middle of the season, he caught a little woe where he's down, and something really sparked him in the later half of the season, and he's been pretty well good off the bench.
Yeah.
Like I said, he could be in contention for the six-man award if they give that out for the KJCC.
It's interesting. There are no – we talked about it in the girls' game a little bit, how it's a team effort for the Lady Red Ravens. And for the guys, boy, isn't it? There are no stars on this team. It is a collective group to win the 17 games they have this year and 13 in conference play. And Tedrick Wolf has had some games where he's hit 20. But he's finding his spot here in this game, especially on the offensive side of the ball, getting some baskets.
And the fouls are coming out as Barton will have a chance at the line. Ezekiel Charles. Ezekiel Charles. 6'4" out of Brooklyn, New York.
Ooh. Goes glass on the free throw and a miss.
Usually a 73.4% free throw shooter. Not looked good on the first one. Didn't look good on the first one. Both teams at 16 fouls all.
Oh, nice rebound by Taylor. Yeah, it's going to be free throws the rest of the way, folks. We're just under 11 to go. Foul trouble is going to be an issue as the fouls continue to pile up. Again, Barton only plays about 8 guys, so depth is in Coffeyville's favor.
Tough pass. Might have caught Washington on the arm, allowing for that turnover. Inside to Anthony Smith, outside.
Smith in there with 3 fouls.
He's had a very quiet night.
Yep. And another foul.
Anthony Smith had a career high 32 points and a double-double to go along with it, 11 rebounds. Really been quiet tonight. And I believe he hasn't scored a point. He'll be subbed out.
And Palmer at the line, I believe. The sophomore from Chicago. Again, it is so, this conference, you get talent from all across the nation, really the world. And it's quite incredible to see these guys, playing like this well, this tough down here in little old Coffeyville, Kansas.
And you also get to see the talent that comes out of Kansas because, as the rule is, there's also a rule that JUCOs have to take some Kansas talent.
Yeah, that rule going away this year, but for these teams, that has been the case.
Good move, and Travis Washington will draw the foul.
Did a good job of kind of turning the corner there on that drive. Got past the defender and couldn't quite finish, but that's because of the contact.
Saw the lane, and the contact kind of veered him off.
Yep.
Still
that's
at
Barbie's
the line.
third foul. Barbie not a lot of playing time in the first half. He picked up 2 fouls in about 20 seconds apart. And here he picks up his third, checking the sidelines to see if he'll be taken out of the game, and he will be. Smith is checking back in, also with 3.
Travis Washington connects on the first.
That first half, as Coffeyville gains a 2-point lead, that first half was so fast. And we still have 10 minutes to play in the second half. I feel like the script is flipped in time. Again, a lot more free throws, a lot more fouls. But This game is going to come down. It's going to crawl along slowly.
It started really quickly the
Yes,
second
it did.
half, and then kind of slowed down, and
Yeah,
now we're at the fouling and
Whoa.
into the half-court offense phase.
Nice rebound by Taylor. Took his dribble very quickly, but nice rebound by the wing.
Inside, Cubbage. And Cubbage will get 2 shots at the line after this timeout. I believe it was a media timeout. So Coffeyville's got a 2-point lead, 50-48, with 9:36 left. And the fouls are starting to rack up, so.
Yeah, it's going to be Barton's 2 fouls away from Coffeyville shooting 2 free throws no matter what happens.
Barton really hasn't shot the free throw. Hasn't
There you
shot
go.
free throws
There you go, yeah.
very well.
Well, and to go off of your verbal stumble there, and I don't mean to throw shade at you, but the three-point ball has not been a factor this second
That's
half.
awesome.
A lot of drive, which, again, is the rise of the fouls, right? It's hard to draw a lot of fouls shooting a lot of threes. But with the concentration of both coaching staffs to attack these zone defenses with the bounce into the post at the rim, the threes have gone down, which you don't usually associate with offense versus a zone defense.
So both teams coming out of the huddle. And we'll look at where Coffeyville has got next. They go at Cali, and then they enter the regional KJCC tournament March 2nd. And the opening round will be here at Coffeyville at 7:30, and the women's at 5:30. So whoever they may play, it'll be here at Nellis Hall.
It's going to be a great night for basketball.
It will be.
The last home game these guys will play on this court. This,
And
of course, being the last regular season home court game.
And we'll definitely have a great broadcast, so tune in
Oh,
at
no,
Red
don't,
Raven TV.
don't put that kind of pressure on me. Just under 10 to go. Dang, a 2-point lead for Coffeyville. It's like they've been at the lead the whole game, but they've been unable to get a lot of breathing room away from this Barton Cougar team.
And that's a lot of turnovers and
Yeah.
missed open opportunities. Off on the 3.
Oh.
Jordan Taylor can't pick it up. And
What hustle!
Talk about the hustle. He almost ran into a fan diving after the ball.
Oh, you got to get it to him. It's like a running back going down on the 1-yard line. You got to get it to him again.
And Herkelman will be pleased with his sophomore night. You can't play sluggish on sophomore night.
No.
It's just not a thing.
Oh, let's kick it out. Kick it out. Yeah.
He had his man, Jordan Taylor, and
Yep.
not enough room to operate under the basket and travel.
Tough night for Roland. He's had several just crawl out. The rims have been unkind to him in this ball game, but a capable scorer. And he's had to play some big minutes because both Kalina and Polian, the big men for Coffeyville, have 3 fouls apiece.
Do you like that strategy where they roll the ball up, even though there's
Yeah, a lot of
8:30
times.
left?
If that's the mode they're in, that's fine. I don't. It's kind of bizarre.
Ooh.
It's a tie ball
Corner
game now.
jumper looked really good.
Yep.
Ezekiel Charles knocks that down. Ooh. Cubbage baseline. Open, Washington. Yes.
Whoa! The 3 has returned.
And we have definitely missed it
Yep.
for both teams.
And the zones are really bothering both teams. Coffeyville in what looks to be like a 3-2, and look, I think Barton plays a 2-3, so both teams really having a tough time getting good looks.
Shot clock at 10. Kicking it around the perimeter. Inside to Smith. And they'll give him the walk.
Yep. A little bit frustrated. Great post defense there. And That's Polian checking in,
Yeah,
I believe.
I anticipated he'd come in around the 7-8 mark, and
you
in
know,
the middle.
if you don't pick up a fourth foul, he could play the rest of the ball game. But he picks up a fourth, he'll have to sit till about 3 minutes to go. That's kind of what teams have to do in this kind of situation. Sophomore night or sophomore night, you know, you got to be careful with the fouls.
And he'll be matched up with Anthony Smith. Inside, Jordan Taylor.
Oh!
Floater can't go.
Nice look. Going right, he's a very strong driver.
Ooh, he wanted the
Yeah.
deep jumper
Yeah,
at
he
3.
thought about it. You know, they used to call it J.J. Redick range, then Jimmer, and now it's, I think, just Steph Curry, right?
That's correct. Inside, he got his own rebound and able to finish.
And Poling,
That's Charles.
kind of thankful, contested both those shots. Thankful he did not pick up a fourth foul.
Coffeyville still holding a 1-point advantage, 53 to 52 with 6:40 left. Defense starting to show. And he's feeling it. Washington knocks down his second 3.
And they're basically using Washington. He's the shortest player on the court, but they're using him kind of as a wing sharpshooter. They're not having him really run the point in a traditional manner against a zone like this. They're having him trying to run everybody else around to get him open looks.
So Barton getting ample opportunities. Inside to Smith.
Oh, and he had a good look, but spun back into Rowland. Great job by Rowland, by the way, to keep his feet on the ground straight up and not to contest more than he had to.
He wants another one.
Oh, and Taylor with the missed opportunity for a rebound. Now it's going to be free throws. Caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
If Washington able to hit that 3, it would have been a heartbreaker for Barton.
Well, and I
3
think
threes in a row.
the crowd probably would have liked it too, don't you think? At least the home crowd portion, I should say.
So 1-1. Jahil Raleigh will get a second shot. And it almost feels like what team is going to go on the longest run here in the last 5:48 left will come away with a victory. Little stoppage to slow the game down a little bit.
Yeah, everybody's got to be under control. Has a very slim 2-point lead for the hometown Red Ravens.
Long 3.
It's a rough shot to take that early in the shot clock.
A little bit of 3 happy
Yeah.
for Washington and Jordan Taylor. But a turnover will kind of help. And a timeout goes Barton's way. And Zach, what do you think about these teams? They've been battling out, grinding all night, and it feels like just who's going to catch the break.
It really does. You're absolutely right. It's just who's going to get something to fall their way last, right? That's basically what everybody's waiting for. Does a shot crawl in when it normally wouldn't have? Does a loose ball bounce your way? Can you control a rebound? Right now I got no clue, which is something that's not out of the norm for me. That's pretty usual for me, but right now I have no clue which way that ball is going to bounce. Both teams neck and neck. Coffeyville nursing a slim 2-point lead.
As we should mention, the last time these two teams met up at Barton, this game went to overtime and was just a heartbreaker for Coffeyville at the end, losing a 84-77 game. And man, that was a fun one just to watch.
Yeah, this game will not equate those scoring numbers. It being 56-54, it's much more a defensive grind in this game, but close nonetheless.
And it's kind of funny to mention that Malik Keith really had a big night with 18 points, and Jordan Taylor really had a big night. So, and then Noah Webster had 20 points, and Anthony Smith had 24 points. So, like, a lot of these players have not really made an impact in this game.
Yeah, why keep it consistent, though? It keeps us on our toes. I'm sure that's the reason this is happening.
Very sure.
Although Jordan Taylor has had some big shots in this game.
15 on the shot clock.
Yep.
Jordan Taylor wanted the 3. Pass out to Washington. 5.
Oh, and a nice strip. And Washington thankful to not be called for an off-ball foul. And a little handsy, frustrated with the no call.
Definitely a useful possession if they're able to score. And they can't get it to go.
Was that one of those fateful drops? You know, it goes one way or the other. I don't know.
4:30 left. Coffeyville up 2. Both teams really making it interesting with the balls going in and out and the ball bouncing.
And under 10 on the shot clock, they got to go.
Good move.
Oh, and a charge against Washington. Now, I think they're going to say he led with the forearm or the shoulder because the defender definitely was not set.
Kind of out of control.
Yeah, and that's what the official is gesturing towards Coach Herkelman, saying he led with the forearm, which never really gets called at any level, really. But for the Coffeyville faithful, you hate to see that here, but at least the referees are calling something that is a bit unusual. But
again, an unusual tactic is rolling the ball up to half court.
Right. They really want to extend the ball. Maybe they like their time in Coffeyville.
I guess they do. You guys, a few hotels if they don't want to.
Really want to hang out.
Corner into the baseline, feeding Anthony Smith, and he'll get a travel, and he'll slam the ball. And
yeah, and then Tedrick Wolf is trying to ask for maybe a technical. You can ask for that all day long, but the officials usually make those calls on their own. Nice little showmanship, though.
I think you have to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Show a little bit aggression if you want.
Slamming the ball on the ground usually gets it. Slamming it in your hand, not so much.
Jordan Taylor up top.
Ooh.
Cubbage, jumper.
Ooh, tough shot.
Nothing falling for each team. Barton really needs a good possession.
Yeah. They've had several opportunities here recently and been unable to capitalize. Watch Riley in the corner there. He's got the ball now. Watch the two-man game. Oh, what a... Wow.
Yeah.
What a bang play there. That's one where the officials really earn their paycheck because that's a tough call there. It's going to be Jordan Taylor at the line to extend the lead for Coffeyville. But you talk about great hands and a great play by Mike Cubbage.
You can call it a good foul because
that's right.
Jay Hill Raleigh stopped the transition, but he also picked up his 4th foul. So.
Yep. Well, and again, Taylor at the line with an opportunity to increase the lead. It's only a 1-and-1, though. Both teams with 9 team fouls. Wow, and he missed the opening one, left 2 points on the table. That hurts.
So almost an empty possession for Coffeyville. Barton just wanting to slow this game down and get into their offense.
And right now they're basically overloading the baseline here on this offensive play, wanting to see if they can get Coffeyville out of position.
Really trying to look for Tompton. He's calling for the ball.
Oh!
A long 3 from Raleigh gives them the lead.
And it's going to be a full 1-minute conversation there for the bench for Barton, and it gives them the lead for the first time in what seems like forever.
My goodness, that was a long 3, and
yes, it was.
I thought he had Tompton in the middle of the basket, and he just threw that up and drained it. So they take the lead, 57-56. And like I said, it's what team is going to make the big basket at the end, and that's definitely a big shot for Raleigh to put his team ahead, and they're going to have to do a lot more than that. And Herkelman's got to draw up a play to set up a good possession. They haven't had a real good possession in what seems like forever.
They've had a couple of decent looks that haven't fallen. They had a chance for some free throws there on that last attempt by Taylor, but they certainly cannot go an empty. If you don't get it here, you cannot go another empty possession after this. If you string 2 empty possessions in a row, the chance for Barton to extend their lead to a couple possessions after that, and all of a sudden now you're scrambling. For a game, Coffeyville has led nearly the entirety.
Barton Cougars at 22 wins, trying to make it 23 in.
Yep.
When you get 22 wins, you know how to win in this conference, and they're certainly will take their opportunity to come away with a victory here at Nelson Hall if Coffeyville gives them the opportunity. 2:20 left. Good ball movement. Jordan Taylor. Yes!
Oh!
Big shot for the big sophomore.
The answer.
Coffeyville now holding a 2-point lead.
And as big a shot as there has been all game. And Taylor's got to watch out. He cannot dive too low. He's got to extend to make sure he covers Rowley.
5 on the shot clock. Quick 3. Tough 3.
Oh, and a great tip out by Wolf.
Not the best shot from Barton.
An issue and a technical issue here. The net was stuck on the rim, so they're going to take it out of bounds. And with 24 seconds on the shot clock, 146 in this ball game, this might be the biggest possession
by
of
far.
the game.
Coffeyville's definitely going to have to do something with it.
They got to be cautious. And the gym is eerily quiet here.
But a little bit of urgency.
Yep.
Oh.
And I like
contact.
Yep. I like the no call.
Oh, Polion with the rebound. Much needed for the Red Ravens.
And now they can wind it down to under a minute. A timeout for the CCC. 25 on the shot clock, 1:20 in the game. So now you can get it to under a minute. You score here. That's a 2-possession game. And not a lot of time for Barton to work with.
And the sophomores coming up big for Coffeyville. Talk about Polion. He's had a fantastic night. If it wasn't for foul troubles, I think he'd definitely fill up the stat sheet more than he has. And Jordan Taylor knocking down a humongous three. I can't tell you how huge that 3 was for a team.
Well, and that 3 came out of a play called in a timeout by Coach Herkelman here. A similar situation, calls a timeout, gets his troops settled. You imagine they're going to try to get maybe not that similar look in terms of a Jordan Taylor 3, but a similar look in that they want a good look coming out of this timeout.
Poulion came up the rebound to have Herkelman take the timeout.
Yep.
And Herkelman has been in it all game, and in his 22nd year, got to have confidence in him drawing up a great play for his team. And Barton coming back in with Toppin, the 6'8", has had a fantastic game for the Cougars.
Yep.
Altering shots, and
that's a good point. I don't know where on a make or a miss from Coffeyville here, it doesn't really matter. I think Barton has to get something inside. A Rowley 3 would be fine, but everything else, attack the rim, attack the paint. Maybe you draw a foul and you get to shoot some free throws. Well scouted out of the timeout. Barton covering up Taylor.
14 on the shot clock. And man, one thing you can't do in that possession is turn it over that quickly.
Yeah.
Not a smart move by Ted.
Yeah, with no chance of drawing a foul or even getting a shot on the rim, you just turn it over. Granted, a post up with Tedrick Wolf on the block, not really, I don't think what they were really going for there. He's more effective in motion, attacking in a vertical line. Unfortunate for the Red Ravens.
Barton's got to answer, got to tie this game up or take the lead with a 3.
Having a tough time going downhill.
J. Hill Raleigh.
Oh, nice.
Out to a 3. Oh, my Lord, that is a great 3 by Charles. As big as Jordan Taylor's 3 was, that was even bigger.
They got time.
And they'll call that on Malika Rhodes.
Well, and it wasn't so much the foul this time as they didn't call it the previous possession where it was a very similar play, a little bit of contact, and now they're going to give the call to Coffeyville.
But that's what Travis Washington does. He shoots that long 3, so it makes the defense respect him and come out a little bit farther.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Barton basketball, you just tell your guys to stay on the ground and let them shoot that. You don't have to rise up and contest there, though. Rhodes bit on the pump fake, and then Washington, with a great control, by the way, great body control to absorb the contact, to be able to make a basketball play out of it, not just to scramble. You might not draw the foul if you're not under control.
Last time these two teams matched up, it went into overtime, and Barton got the best of them. And nothing like we would enjoy some extra basketball if it were to come to that. And boy, has this been a great game, a low-scoring game, I should say. We thought in the first half, the way the scoring was going, we'd get into the 80 points because both teams average 80 points.
Right.
Coffeyville averaging 82 points, Barton averaging 85. But, man, this has been a low-scoring, a lot of defense. A lot of defense and not that many fouls, I should say, for a college basketball game has been a lot of defense. Yeah. So that's been nice. And this game has sure been nothing less than interesting.
Well, it has been emphatic, I would say, in spurts. It's been odd in a lot of other places, but with a 1-point deficit here, Travis Washington has a chance to tie and possibly take the lead. 34 seconds left. You imagine Barton will get the last shot except for a heave from Coffey.
1-1. Or, excuse me, they've entered the 2-2.
Yeah, it's a double bonus for both teams, so both teams will be shooting 2 no matter what, unless somebody is foolish enough to foul on a 3. Woo! That's some ice. That's some chilled veins.
Clutch free throws from the freshman, Travis Washington.
30 seconds to go.
3 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock.
The back line, both Polian and Wolf have to really communicate to make sure everybody knows.
Barton working quick.
Yep, and that's a good call there. It did hit off his ankle. That's a good kickball call. That's exactly what it should have been. Taylor almost there to poke it away, though. And it looks like we're getting another timeout.
Not a bad timeout for Herkelman. He saw what Barton was trying to do.
Yep.
And he's going to try and make some adjustments.
Well, they got a minute to talk about it. That zone for Coffeyville has been pretty effective. You think Barton's going to try to attack the corners again, right? The way they got the 3 and the go-ahead basket before. If I'm Barton, I go at about 11 to 12 seconds left on the shot clock because you do not want a chance. You do not want to waste it all, miss a shot, and then have no time to foul and get the ball back. So they're going to have to go pretty quick. If they can draw a foul of their own at the line, they'd have a really good opportunity to win this ball game.
This ball game really doesn't matter for Barton other than enthusiasm. And Coffeyville has a chance to chase down Cloud in the standings. They are one game behind them to inch closer to third place. But nevertheless, whoever wins this game, a lot of momentum going into the tournament and their next game.
Absolutely.
It's always nice to have these tough matchups at the end of the season where you keep your guys infused into the game because it's kind of easy to relax in these later half of the season games.
Yep. Well, and Coffeyville sitting with a 13-11 conference record, so a win here ensures they stay above 500. A loss means that their game this next upcoming week could drop them down to a 500 conference record.
2 seconds should separate the shot clock and the game clock. They got to go to work quick.
Nice pressure.
Rowley out for a three. That's off. Jordan Taylor picks it up.
And with 2.1 seconds on the official game clock.
And the Red Ravens get a standing ovation from this home crowd that stuck with them all night long.
And we're going to get another timeout possibly to ice the shooter here. Imagine it's the last one of the ball game. Jordan Taylor really just shooting for the stat sheet. Again, a heave. You make both, and only a heave can send you to overtime at 2.1 seconds. We've seen strange things do happen on a basketball court, but with a 1-point lead and at the line, the Coffeyville is looking very good.
It would definitely take an Sports Center top 10 play for Barton to win this one, but I guess you see it on Sports Center, so it can happen.
Well, it does happen from time to time. I don't know if it's ever happened here in Coffeyville, Kansas, but it is certainly a possibility in the game of basketball.
See, Jordan Taylor, the sophomore, looking for that sophomore night win. That's always enjoyable for everyone on this Red Raven team and the crowd. And Jordan Taylor, 62.7% free throw shooter. Didn't score a point last time they played Barton, and he's been a big factor.
Well, here's where it gets interesting.
Or excuse me,
you might as well miss this second one. A free throw here does not really help you. With 2.1, it's going to be a 3-point heave. Yep, smart play.
Excuse me, Jordan Taylor had 18 last time they played Barton. Trying to clarify that. 1.6 seconds left. You really don't have time for a pass. You gotta shoot it.
Yeah, it's a catch. Maybe a dribble into a heave is about all the time you have. Trey Kalina has just checked in for Coffeyville, and he's going to be on the ball, trying to obstruct as much vision for the inbounder as possible. Everybody else for Coffeyville, basically, as soon as the ball hits a Barton player, just get out of their way. You do not want to even be within a few feet of the player shooting. You do not want to put in a situation where a foul might be called.
In the NBA, they do a different tactic when there's a couple seconds left. They put it on their side of the court and heave it. Do you think that'd be a good rule for college basketball?
I don't know. I mean, the ball's going to be out of bounds at the opposite end of the court for Barton. That's where it should be because that's where they took possession of it. So the NBA does that just so that you get more dramatic pull-up jumpers and stuff like that. The NBA likes to get their revenue from TV sales. You and me, I don't know. We're probably more traditionalists, aren't we?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
So you see Anthony Smith throwing in the ball. Kalina up tight on him.
And again, once the ball is inbounded, once a Barton player has it, if I'm a player for Coffeyville, I get away from them. You do not want to be within close. A contest on this desperation three is not going to matter.
That'll be a tough shot from Topton. And they tried to pass. But the game has ended. Coffeyville takes a narrowing 61-60 win over Barton. And what an incredible night. You're watching Red Raven TV.